Yo, welcome back to another episode of Maximillion Duel Links. In this video, we're going to check out the deck that's been dominating the tournament scene. But before we get started in this video, I want to give a huge shout out to my sponsors, YGOsingles.com. If you do play the TCG, want to buy some cards, make sure you check them out. They've got the best prices on all of the latest TCG cards. And if you use the discount code Maximillion, you get 5% off your entire purchase. Okay, let's get straight into this list. This is Shiny Sophion's list. She used at the Meta Weekly. She came second. She should have won the Meta Weekly, but she misplayed with her Amazon deck. But that's okay. That's behind us. Okay. Anyway, in this vampire deck, we're playing the Bandit build. So there's a couple of different builds. The week before, Lula played a balance build and he did very well. This week we're checking out this Bandit build. Sophie plays a couple of different tech choices for her Bandit skill. Now I think this list is pretty good because we're playing Vampire Grimson and Mirror Wall. These cards help you to pay your life points down enough so this Bandit skill can resolve. We need to be at 1500 or lower life points to resolve our Bandit, and these cards, Grimson and Mirror Wall, excuse me, and the two Cosmic Cyclones help us to get our life, control our life down low enough to resolve Bandit. So we play 2 Gazuki, 3 Samurai Skulls as our starters. Gazuki is slightly worse than Samurai Skull, not by a lot. The only relevant reasoning is because on summon, Gazuki can be put face down without being able to use its effect, whereas Samurai Skull activates on the summon. And they both have pretty good secondary effects. So Gazuki, when it's sent to the graveyard, you can banish a zombie to, these are all zombies by the way, to summon another zombie from your hand. So it can trigger these Vampire Retainer and Familiar through his effect. Also, Samurai Skull, when it leaves the field, when you control this monster and it leaves the field, you get to summon any zombie that's level 4 or lower. So you can get your Gazukis out, you can get your Retainer out, or you can get the Familiar out. And this can also trigger these cards. And the reason that I think this deck is doing so well is because of because of that effect of Samurai Skull. You being able to get this effect off of when you attack into an onslaught, or when your opponent Spellbooker fates your monster, or when they dompo your monster. So a lot of these cards will trigger Samurai Skull's effect, even a Sea Stealth attack. Yeah, so the yeah. So this build it doesn't play the Treacherous Trap Hole. We play a Mirror Wall and the Vampire Takeover. A lot of builds do play the Treacherous Trap Hole, so when you're up against a zombie deck, you got to be aware for that. I really like Vampire Takeover, especially in the mirror, because if your opponent activates a Gazuki's effect or a Samurai Skull effect, you can actually chain this to activate your field spell. So this also works again like Elemental Hero, Vision Hero Vion, and any other card that might send from their deck to the graveyard. Okay, let's get into 5 replays. We'll do a live game, and then I'll talk a little bit about maybe other tech choices. If you're playing competitively, Bandit Keith is probably one of the best characters you can play. It's a good character because you can play Switcheroo, you can play Restart, you can play Bandit, you can play Baggy Sleeves. It's got a lot of skills, and it can also help you hide a lot of decks, because a lot of these decks can use the same skill. Our opponent, actually, I remember our opponent took a long time to decide whether or not he wanted to restart. He chose not to. He opened Blue Boy already, so if I were him, I wouldn't restart either. But actually our hand is really good. We saw that, okay, here, pause. We saw that he searched the Spellbook Organization, so we know that it's an Organization plus Fate set. And that's what we're going to play around. So we recognize that he can only Fate once. We've got an enemy controller to force out the Fate. And then we've already got the kingdom, so we've got and the domain, so we can tribute and pop the monster. So here, that's exactly what we do. And here I already recognize that I probably win unless he has a Karibo in his hand, which I don't think he does. Yep, easy game. This deck very explosive. You can win with like a lot of hands. You can easily OTK. Okay, game number 2. We're up against a Chaz Princeton. Something suspicious must be happening here. We're going first, and what skill is our opponent playing? Life point boost alpha. So our opponent could be playing Fiends, could be playing I don't know, could be playing some Cancer. We go for the we dump Familiar because we already have the Retainer. Our opponent ends up playing Domper, and banishes those two. Okay, here I instinctively went for Gazuki. I could have considered actually no, I couldn't have considered anything else because I had the Mirror Wall set, and I wanted to keep my monster on board. Unfortunately, we lost our Retainer, but fortunately we can send another Retainer. We you didn't see it, but maybe you saw it. We paid 2,000 life points to get our life down low enough so we could Bandit one of his cards, and then we Cosmic Cyclone the other. Bandit is such a good skill at the moment. If it resolves, you're most likely going to win. Here our opponent's got 1 card and he's top decking, so it would have to be a beat plus a Domper to even survive here, I think. He draw passes, and yeah, it looks good for us. Bender Keith, I would say, is one of the best characters. I think Zane is also probably the second best character. With the new skill that summons up to 3 Proto Cyber Dragons, I think that skill is way too powerful, and it's 110% going to be nerfed soon. They need to hire someone like me to do their game balancing, because that skill should not have made it through their testing phase. Our opponent is actually playing Grit and Spellbooks. So if our opponent doesn't summon a Spellbook Sullen Magician here, we're in a pretty commanding position. And our opponent doesn't, we're going to go summon 3 monsters. 1, 2, 3. The good thing about Familiar is it's got just enough attack to force a Fate. We can crash here. He actually fates this monster. I feel like he should have fated his own monster to get the +1. The life points here I don't think matters too much. If I get rid of his monster, he's going to lose anyway. So we have the takeover, which we're waiting on using it. Our opponent goes for the power play. We go for the takeover here because we don't want to take too much damage, and we get to summon the Retainer, and we're low enough that we can resolve our Bandit. So our opponent yeah, just loses to Bandit. Bandit is so powerful, and it wins us another game. And there we have it. We do some BM because BM is fun. Quarg! Quarg? What the? Surely this Zane is using the Proto Cyber Dragon skill. Yeah, that skill is so good. Being able to put 3300 attack on board is pretty nuts. Our opponent sets 3, summons Card of the Soul. I remember this deck. I checked his deck list after, and it was kind of neat. His deck list is playing Fiends with Phoenix. Because he has nothing on board. we're gonna try to go for the OTK. Even if this OTK fails, it's fine because we've got these face-up vampire cards, which we can use to send to summon these vampires from the graveyard. Our opponent gets the big vampire. Kills my vampires. We top deck a Gazuki, which is probably one of the best rolls we could have hoped for. We go for the Grace play. We want to pop his cards. Even if he has it out to this, we can chain our enemy controller. He tributes to take our monster. We tribute ours to take his monster. We're going to summon a third monster. And our opponent surrenders. Last replay. Hoshi! Throwing away the Exodia pieces. We're up against Maximillion Pegasus. What deck is our opponent playing? Okay, we're going second. That's what we like to see. And oh, this game's the one that I actually make a mistake. So here, I make the right play. I want to send Familiar, but we wanted to summon Familiar by sending Retainer. So here, I sat for a long time, wondering why I'm such a potato. I wanted to send the Retainer, and then send Grimson to summon the Retainer. We wanted to end with a Grace play. But yeah, we're going for the Grace anyway, because even though I make a mistake, I have to find the best play in that situation, and I did see that I could win with the enemy controller by clearing his board. Yeah, so we crash our dude, and then we econ take. We still win, but it wasn't as clean as it could have been. We could have had a vampire. Instead of the Familiar, we could have had a Gazuki, and the board would have been the same. Live game up against Maximillion Pegasus. Let's see what we can do here. Our opponent is gonna lose a rank because I'm gonna win. Balance. Okay, this is good. This is good. We want to use the Gazuki first because next turn we can use it again. It's turn 1, so on turn 1 it makes no difference which one. So we're gonna send the Retainer. We're gonna actually summon the Retainer by sending this Desires. And we're gonna search this trap. This is why we play one of the traps, so we can search it. It would have been better if this Desires was any vampire monster, but you know, we're pretty happy with this opening board. Opponent's playing heroes with balance. Sure. Please don't make this attack. Don't make this attack. You saw that we searched the takeover. We're not even going to activate the mirror wall unless he activates something else. So Kingdom makes our monsters go up. Damn. Maybe that's a Tretch. Okay, let's have a think. We're definitely going to send the Familiar. But do we want to summon the Familiar? He TTHs. Summon the Familiar, search Grace. Or actually, yeah, summon the Familiar, search Grace. He TTHs Grace plus, I don't know, maybe Retainer. This is 2 plus 17, so that's this is game on board. So actually, if I just summon some Samurai Skull, I think I almost always win. So this way we play around Tretch and enemy controller. Okay. Okay, Legend 3 up against a Japanese guy. Seto Kaiba. Full power furries. Lose and you'll lose a rank. We're making everyone's losing ranks. We're making everyone's losing ranks? That doesn't even make sense. This hand is okay, I guess. I mean, it's pretty good. It could be better, but like if these, like one of each of these cards were interrupts or something like that. Well, exactly what I thought it was. Domper. Not what I want to see. Oh, neat. I think this game somehow. I think this is game. I'm just gonna click. I don't actually know if it's game or not, but I'm gonna click. Oh yeah, this is definitely game. I'm gonna search the Grace. So the longer you play, the easier it will be for you to recognize whether or not you have game. Because our opponent didn't have any back rows, we can do this pretty easily without being scared. Oh my gosh, what if he doesn't have a trap? Oh my gosh. I should have just said monster, dude. Game. Doesn't matter. We attack with the Samurai Skull because these ones, when they connect, I gain life. Easy. Okay, so there you have it, guys. That's the vampire deck. I still think this deck could be refined a little bit more. It's good, but I don't think it's perfect yet. I definitely think we need to change this deck a little bit to make it have a better Amazon matchup. Once we get that good Amazon matchup, we've got good matchups across the board, and this has a potential to be one of the best decks in the coming format. So I don't really have much to say. This deck requires a lot of practice, so if you do get this deck, definitely play with it as much as you can. I want to talk about some replacement cards or some tech cards. I mentioned already the Vamp is a really good card in this deck. When you summon this, you can you can suck up one of your opponent's biggest monsters. Basically, it effect reads when it's normal summoned or a vampire monster is normal summoned to the field. You can target one face-up monster your opponent controls whose attack is higher than this card, equip it to this card. This card gains the attack. So Vampire Vamp is a really good way to out cards instead of Grimson, which is a good card to protect your board. So yeah, Grimson is pretty good because it's by battle or by card effect, so it's pretty good against cards like Treacherous Trapper. If you're playing around a Treacherous Trapper, Grimson is really good. One of the other cards I like to play is Simultaneous Loss. Each player sends the top card of your deck to the graveyard. What this does is it helps trigger Vampire Kingdom. Once per turn, when a card is sent from your opponent's deck to the graveyard, target one card on the field, send one vampire monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do, destroy that target. So it turns a Simultaneous Loss turns into any removal card. Targeting yeah, anything, monster or trap. And it also helps you to get cards in the grave because you don't mind sending cards to the grave. And yeah, I think this deck is definitely playable even if you only have one Gazuki, but if you have no Gazukis, it just means you have less starter cards. If you have less Gazukis, I would consider playing more Desires, or more Domains, or maybe a totally different build entirely with a Simultaneous Loss plus the Vampire Kingdoms. The rest of these cards are fairly decent. They're not overly expensive. They're just super rares in the mini box. And it's easy enough for people to buy through that box a couple times to play this deck. Do I recommend you spend your money and buy this deck? Actually, I would say no. We've got a massive main box coming up soon. Save your gems, save your money for that. We'll see how that goes. And if vampires are still dominant after that, then maybe you can come back to this set. Anyway, that's it for me for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys again later. Peace out, guys.